In this particular episode, I am going to demonstrate to you how to effectively connect the Minecraft server with the Discord SRV plugin in order to link what individuals write in the chat with the Discord chat and synchronize your server ranks, for instance. Ensure that you establish a VIP connection with your Discord, or generally make sure to manage the linking of your Discord account with your server account. Let's commence. If this guide proves to be helpful to you, please consider leaving a subscription, a like, and a comment, as it truly assists. So thank you, let's get started. If you are considering buying hosting, check the affiliate link in the description. You may find a hosting option you like, and purchasing through the links supports the channel. Thank you. Okay, so as I mentioned, we will be focusing on the Discord SRV plugin. You can find the download link and all the websites we will use today in the description. To download the plugin and subsequently upload it to the server, I typically obtain it from the Spigot forum. I save it, for instance, to the desktop, and then we proceed to upload this plugin to the server. Additionally, I'll say right at the start that later, to create ranks and connect with Discord, we'll use the LackPerms plugin. If you are using a different plugin for ranks, that will also work, but I'm just saying that today I'm using LackPerms. I additionally have an individual episode dedicated to this ranks plugin where I demonstrate how to create them, assign permissions, create rank prefixes, and much more. Therefore, I'm also placing it on the server. If you additionally desire to, we can click here to initiate the download and select the bucket. Now, naturally, I have the plugins available here on my desktop. Furthermore, I've already opened my server files. You also need to find your server files. It could of course be an internet hosting panel, or it could be local files like I have here. The most essential aspect is to identify the main directory and the plugins folder. I open it, and here we have the plugins. Or it might be empty if you own a new server. That's not particularly significant. The primary point is just to place our downloaded plugins here. Now we start the server. The server is running, we can enter it and check with the /command plugins to see if everything has been uploaded correctly, and we see that the plugin is in red, which means it supposedly didn't load correctly. Nevertheless, this occurs because we must establish a connection with Discord for it to be meaningful, so at present it appears red. Now let's concentrate on establishing that connection. Now we go to the Discord developer portal, and you can find the link in the description. Then we create a new application by clicking this blue button. We name it whatever we like. I'll name it SRV, accept the terms and create it. We confirm that we are not a robot and we have it. Now we need to go to the installation tab here on the left, exactly here where the gear icon is. We uncheck the user installation option and adjust these configurations to none before proceeding. We save the changes using this green button and then proceed to the bot tab on the left side. Now, we scroll downwards and uncheck the public bot option since we want this bot to remain private, so we uncheck it and select these two permissions. They must be checked to avoid any issues later. Then, we generate the token using this reset token button. It is crucially important, this token is exclusively for you, and absolutely no one else should know about it or see it, because it would grant them the authority to manage the bot, and we certainly wouldn't want that to happen. This could have very negative consequences. So, I proceed to click on the reset token option, and then I confirm my intention to proceed with this action. If you have two-factor authentication enabled, you will need to confirm at this point. We now have the newly generated token, and we copy it for our own use. I have copied it, and shortly we will paste it into our configuration file, but before doing that, let's ensure we save all the changes. Again, the green button at the bottom, we have succeeded, and now we still have the token copied. It has already disappeared here, but I have copied it, so now we will go to the configuration file. So you open your server files again. I am in the main directory of the server. I navigate to the plugins tab. Since we have already executed the server once with the Discord SRV plugin installed, it appeared in red. However, that is perfectly fine. The folder's created anyway. We proceed to enter this specific folder and then open up the configuration file. At the very topmost section, there is a designated field where we need to paste the token, so I go ahead and paste it there. Certainly, if for any particular reason you didn't manage to copy it or perhaps forgot, you have the option to generate it once more in this specific panel and then simply paste it. It is essential that it is placed here, otherwise the plugin will not function properly. So, I proceed to save the configuration file by pressing Ctrl+S, and now we will navigate to our Discord server. Naturally, you have the option to utilize it to configure the server you already possess, but we can just as easily create a new one. To do this, I click the plus sign on the left and select the first option to create a new server. we click that it should be for friends, which is the first option, and we can name it however we like. I confirm with a purple confirmation. At this juncture, we navigate back to the Discord developer portal, proceed to the primary information section situated on the left-hand side, and continue to select and click to copy the unique identifier of this specific application. Subsequently, we transition to the page designated for inviting our bot to our server, which is conveniently located within the description. Here, you simply need to paste this ID, so on your keyboard, press Ctrl+V and it directs us to Discord, where a panel opens up, allowing us to effortlessly invite this bot to our server. In this particular tab, you choose the specific server that you are interested in, where you intend to add this bot. Naturally, it ought to be the Discord server associated with your Minecraft server. We scroll down and the authorization button appears, we click on it, we get a notification that it was successful, and when we enter Discord, we can already see in the chat that our bot has joined and we have it here on the right in the list. At this point, you will certainly want to navigate into your Discord settings, or more specifically, your profile settings located in the bottom left-hand corner, represented by the gear icon. Within this section on the left side, you should select the Advanced tab. It is situated right here, and we activate the initial option, which is Developer Mode. This will significantly simplify our tasks. Now I exit these settings, and due to this, we can now right-click to copy the ID of a particular channel. So I opt to copy this ID, and this will be beneficial for configuring the setup file. Let's proceed to that. I return to the server files. Naturally, we were in the Plugins tab, then the Discord SRV folder, and the primary config here, precisely where we inserted our token. Now scrolling further down, we can designate the main channel of our server, which is the primary Discord channel for communication, and here, instead of these zeros, we need to input the ID that I just copied. I simply paste it here. I save the configuration file and let's observe what modifications it has brought about. At this juncture, it is advisable to restart your server. The server has been successfully restarted, so let's proceed to enter and type the /command plugins once more. We can now observe that our plugin is displaying a green status, as due to entering the token, everything is now properly connected. It's perfectly fine. When we navigate to Discord, we can also observe that it displays the actions occurring on the server, such as when I joined, departed, and rejoined once more. When I start typing something in the chat, we will also see it here on the Discord channel. It functions in the opposite manner as well. When I compose a message on Discord, the players present on the server will also be able to view it, and we have a designated prefix for Discord, ensuring our connection is operational. Now, for instance, we will incorporate server console management via Discord for our administrators. To introduce a new channel that will serve as the console, I click on the plus icon and assign a name to this channel, for example. The console must be entirely text-based, and it is crucial to designate it as private to ensure that no one can view it except for the administrators or the owner of the Discord server, which happens to be me. So I proceed by clicking next, where we have the option to add members. Let's include a bot as well, and then proceed by clicking on Create Channel. At this point, I proceed by right-clicking once more in this location and copying the identification number of this particular channel. We then return to the configuration file we were previously working on, where we had established a connection with the primary text channel, and we can also observe a designated area here for the console channel. And again, instead of those zeros, we simply paste the ID that I copied. Now after this change, we need to completely restart our server, which means typing stop or turning it off in the hosting panel. Then, after turning the server back on, we go into the console channel on Discord and we can see that we actually have some information. And now we can also execute various commands from here that we would normally perform in the console. For instance, we have the ability to verify the TPS, activate the whitelist, or generally execute any other command you desire, because this channel has essentially transformed into your console. However, it is crucial to remember that if you possess a console here, your Discord account must be thoroughly secured with a robust password and two-factor authentication. This ensures that no one can gain unauthorized access to your account and enter this channel, as they would then have control over your server from the console. If this is convenient for you, you can leave it. If you don't need it, simply don't connect it. It's enough not to list this channel in the file here and not create this console channel. But of course, everyone has their own preferences. Now, we will focus on synchronizing your server ranks with the roles on Discord. You might already have some ranks on your server. As I mentioned, I'll use the lag perms plugin. You can choose other plugins, it's not a problem. For those who haven't set up ranks yet, I'll show how to quickly create them. Using the command lp create group, I proceed to create, for example, VIP rank, at this point we can efficiently assign it a prefix, so we opt for LP group VIP metaset prefix, for instance 100, and we input it using Minecraft color codes, for example. VIP, I'll add an R at the end so that no player gets colored. I click enter. For individuals who may not be acquainted with lag pens, typically your players consistently receive the default rank upon entering the server, so it essentially becomes the player's rank. We can also quickly set a prefix for it and let it be simply player. I press enter, and when typing in the chat, you can see that I am a player. When I assign myself the VIP rank with such a command, then I am a VIP. So the ranks are set, we have them. And now let's create ranks on Discord. You can already have them, but I don't have them yet, so I will create them now. As we can observe, our logs are consistently updating with precisely what I input on the server, and this can also be beneficial for you in terms of monitoring. I'm referring to this console channel at the moment, but to establish these ranks, let's return here to the server settings, navigate to the roles tab, and introduce a new role. Here we can input, for instance, VIP, and that is essentially sufficient for us. We save it, and we can additionally add a player here, save it, and now by right-clicking once more, I can copy the ID. Now we go into our server files. We navigate to the plugins directory, then into our specific plugins folder, and focus on the sync file. I open it. Scrolling down a bit further in this section, we encounter this particular area where we have the rank designation on the server, the corresponding rank ID on Discord, and following a comma, we have the option to incorporate additional ranks. For our purposes, this will be the player rank, which is the default setting, and here I paste the ID I previously copied. Now I navigate back to Discord, right-click on VIP, copy the ID, and return to the file. The name here matches. Of course, if you have the name of the latest rank, you just enter it differently here. For us, it matches. And at this point, I insert the identification code of the VIP rank. If we desire to incorporate additional ranks, since it is indeed possible to have more on the server, we just duplicate this section and paste it accordingly. We designate it with a different name, modify the identification code, and indeed, you can incorporate quite a substantial amount here by merely appending additional sections. I'll eliminate this since we have 2 ranks. Save the document and remember to restart the server so that your document, where we associated IDs with specific ranks, is recognized by the server, and it's nearly complete. Now, to inform Discord of our identity on the server, we need to utilize it as a player or an administrator. This is a command available for everyone. Discord link, I press enter, and subsequently we receive a code in the chat. Now we need to memorize it, 3245. We then return to the Discord server. We locate the bot on the list. I click on it, allowing me to send a message here, and we input those numbers. I press enter to transmit it, and we receive a confirmation message affirming that it has indeed confirmed and displayed our nickname. Everything appears to be accurate, so at this point the bot recognizes that we are utilizing this specific nickname on the server. However, as we can observe, it was unable to assign any role to me due to lacking the necessary permissions. Consequently, let's navigate back into the server settings, specifically into the roles tab, and proceed to create a new role for the bot, enabling it to assign roles to other users. This will be an administrator account, but for the bot. Let's go into the second tab, which is permissions, and we can select individual permissions that this bot will have, and it would be much safer. So of course, do that if you want, for example, only assigning roles. Here on the plugin page, we have thoroughly explained all the permissions and their specific uses by our bot, allowing you to manually configure everything. Nevertheless, if it is more convenient for you, at the very bottom, you have the option to set the primary setting for administrator permission, and now this bot is capable of performing all tasks. It can be exceedingly dangerous because if an individual takes control of your bot, they could potentially cause significant damage to your server if they desired to. So it's somewhat risky, but for the sake of convenience, you can utilize the green button to save. Now let's proceed into the final tab, click on the blue text to incorporate this role to the bot, select it from the list, click add, and it's completed. Now the bot recognizes that I am a VIP and I have the ability to write something, and even on Discord, we can observe it identifies me as a VIP. If you also wish to set up voice chat through Discord that operates on proximity, meaning if we approach a player, we are automatically transferred to a Discord channel with them to converse, kind of like through the game, but via Discord, you understand what I mean. Within the files, you have the capability to access the voice file. We proceed inside, and at this point, we configure the function to true. Subsequently, it is necessary to establish a distinct category specifically for these voice channels. We navigate to Discord, and for instance, here is the category which essentially functions as a divider on Discord. we have the ability to right-click, copy, and then paste them in this location. Instead of those zeros, we now need to incorporate the lobby channel ID. This will serve as the channel where players who are not in proximity to each other are relocated and are simply muted. So for us, it can be this regular chat. I click copy ID and paste it here instead of the zeros. And now, thanks to this, our bot will create and delete channels depending on which players are close to each other. Of course, it requires them to be synchronized with Discord using their account on your server. And if the players are far apart, it moves them to this lobby. It is actually challenging for me to test it. I would require 2 separate Minecraft accounts and 2 distinct Discord accounts, but as you can observe, there isn't a lot of setup involved, so it presents itself rather easily. After changing these options, it's important to fully restart your server. And those were the main important features of the Discord SRV plugin. If the guide helped you, please leave a subscription. It means a lot to me. Leave a like, a comment, and I'll see you in the next videos. Thanks.